By the third month, you're getting money back because you can see I have a $2,600 rent here, a $2,600 rent here, and my mortgage is $3,500. You don't need a guru to help you do this. You don't need Grant Cardone. You don't need with Jay Morrison. You don't need Flippin' in Jay to get some big building and do this. Why? Yo, 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 it's your boy Ronald West. You're watching Ronald West TV. Remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you like the content to help grow the channel. Now let's get into the content. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about CEO Jay Morrison from the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I'm pretty sure you all heard about him already from Atlanta. Big time story going out. I watched the video on the Shade Room and I was getting all of the information in. Just getting as much information as I can about this situation. This is the second time I'm hearing about things of this nature. Before, remember, it was the guy with DJ Envy, the Flippin' in Jay person, which I would never invest in any money in just looking at him. But that's just my personal opinion. But this guy, Jay Morrison, came from jail, established himself as a citizen and got into real estate. And basically, people are feeling that he scammed them, he screwed them over, and he's being investigated by the SEC. Now, when I watched the report in the Shade Room, right, I get it. I'm taking a different turn with this. I don't believe it's his fault, period. And I'm one who've been taken for 40 grand before, investing in real estate with somebody down south, Florence, South Carolina, I believe that he was invested in, where he got this land and he was supposed to build on this land. Basically, it never happened for the longest, for years. I'm thinking this guy, he frauded me. He scammed me, he took my money. But as I educated myself more and more about real estate, I realized he didn't fraud me. He didn't scam me, he didn't take my money. What he did do was gamble with my money. And that's what black people have done with this individual. You gave him your money so he can gamble with your money on this big project. I believe there was the Legacy Center, which was actually on sale for $3.6 million. He raised $11.7 million, I believe it was, for this Legacy Center. It was supposed to basically house tenants to pay for the mortgage, and you're supposed to give back dividends or whatever that nature is. But a lot of people invested all of this money. And I looked at the money and I started to think, like, this is interesting, right? As blacks, we want to get into investment. We want to get into something. We want to have our own. And one of the ways of doing that, like we see, is real estate. But the deal is, and what I'm trying to tell you here in this video, you don't need anyone's help. You can do it yourself. The one reason why I say this, because there was somebody on there, I'm referencing the video in the Shade Room. She said that she invested $2,000 and she's an investor. She invested $2,000 and finally received a dividend of $75. I don't know how much later, but she received a dividend of $75. At least she received something. But let's take that example of the $2,000 right there. $2,000 you invest, you get $75 back. Now, I have plans where you can buy 2-family house, 3-family house. That's the only thing I do. Full disclosure, I'm a real estate investor. Financially independent because of real estate, and I lost my job 3 years ago. Never looked back, never cared because of the cash flow coming from the real estate investment. But I'd take it back. I invest. I do 70% off of the deal because that's the way I buy. I buy wholesale, not retail. But that's that's a long story. That's me using Ken McElroy's and Robert Kiyosaki's ABCs of Real Estate, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Long story, but I say that to say you have blacks were giving this person $500, $2,000. I think the most somebody gave him was 40 grand. First of all, the 40 grand, you could have did it yourself. You could do everything yourself, especially when I hear him, the guy talking that investigated the 40 grand. He sounds like a very educated person. You could have invested in the real estate yourself, and I'm going to show you how. Now, for the other people with the $500 and the $2,000, that price range right there, those are the people that are most hungriest, and those are the people that I'm kind of like upset that he took from. Because the answer to your question, the $500 and the $2,000, that's not enough to invest in real estate. Stop. Take that money, reinvest it, save it, get your credit right. Don't invest in real estate with $500, $2,000. That's money you can use to pay bills and get back correct. When you got $40,000, now you need to educate yourself, because when I tell you you can do this stuff yourself, you can really do it yourself, right? So I don't want to harp on Jay Morrison and what he did. But there's a lot of other people that's going to be just like him coming out when it comes to real estate that claim they need your money. And that's what I don't get. Why do you need my money to invest in real estate? You know, you can use your own money to invest in real estate. Why is it my money that's needed to invest in real estate? You have something that people call OPM, other people's money. And you have some investors who are unethical and aren't really educated, and they think that using other people's money is like the right thing to do. That's the way it sounds, using other people's money. But the deal is you're supposed to use other people's money responsibly and be 100 transparent with the other people that you're using their money. First of all, $5,000 and $2,000, you can't even invest. That's not enough. You need to be building your finances, your credit, and all those things so you can be qualified, so banks will want to talk to you and kind of like coach you through what you need to get a house. So that's number one. Number two, you can do it yourself. You can literally do it yourself. I'm looking at Trulia today. Before I did this video, I watched Trulia. Well, not watched Trulia. I went on to Trulia and I looked up multifamily houses in Essex County area because that's where I'm from, Essex County area. I looked up the multifamily houses to see what the price point is. And mainly I'm into two-family houses. And I'll tell you why I'm into two-family houses. There's not many state regulations and the government and everybody's like really out of your business because it's a two-family house. And they kind of consider it like single-family homes. It's weird. So they leave you alone with a two-family. Three-family, four-family and up, you have state regulations, but I can still show you where the price point is. You can make money in this area with these type of houses. Let me tell you how. Right. So I looked up in East Orange, New Jersey, they have a two-family house. I believe it's like $530,000, right? That's the price. I don't believe that's 70% of the ARV. The ARV is the after repair value. So when you look up the house and the houses in the area, look up what does a house look like that's maxed out, that's just like that, brand new. What is the value of that house? If that value of that house is $700,000, $800,000, whatever that value is, you need to know what the value of that house is, what a house like that would have sold for, and then multiply it by 70% because that's where you want to buy. That's what I learned. That's the rule I stick by, and that's what got me financially independent, so I think that's very important. So let's go back to that house that's $530,000, right? That mortgage on that house is going to be about $3,500 a month. You have two units to come up with $3,500 a month. Two. So think about the people that were investing with the Jay Morrison, not the ones with the $200, the $2,000, and the $5,000. No, but the $40,000 individual. You could have taken that money, put it on a down payment on a two-family house in Essex County. I don't know where your area is, but the math is all the same when you do the math. Find out what the rentals are in the area. The max rental you can get for the area, whether you're using Section 8 or not using Section 8, you need to find out what your property would go for as far as the rent. If the rent can take care of the mortgage, you have two rents that you're supposed to collect on a two-family house. If those two rents can take care of the mortgage, then that's called cash flow. Everything after that is cash flow. You use that to take care of some of your expenses and whatever. That's cash flow. Whatever you do with that, that's your money right there. Cash flow money, tax-free money. So let's take that same house, for example. The mortgage on that house would have been $3,500, let's say, roughly $3,500. Each rental unit, three family, I think it was 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. So you take 3 over 1, so 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms versus 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. So 2 units similar. Let's say you get $2,600 each one of those units, right? So that's $5,200 coming in, and the mortgage is $3,500. You minus 52 minus 35, that's what you're left with. You take some of that to pay for your expenses, a couple $100, but that's what you're left with cash flow. At least over $1,000 in cash flow from a deal like that. So you take the 40 grand, you deal with me. Don't deal with me. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I'm all about building an individual. I don't want to work with nobody. I want to build an individual and be financially independent like I am. This is exactly what I did. So take that same thing. I'll be able to tell you in a month that you're getting this much money. You should be getting this much money back as long as the units are fixed. Like obviously, you want to buy the unit. Sometime you probably got to take time to fix the units up. But however long you take to fix the units up, let's say it's a month, 2 months. So I'll tell you, a month you're not going to have no cash flow. You have to pay that rent yourself. You have to pay the mortgage yourself. That's $3,500 you got to pay yourself. So there goes a big expense, the holding costs basically. So it might take you a month to finish. $3,500. Oh, took you 2 months, another $3,500. So you out $7,200, $7,000, almost $8,000. However, by the third month, you're getting money back because you can see I have a $2,600 rent here, a $2,600 rent here, and my mortgage is $3,500. You don't need a guru to help you do this. You don't need Grant Cardone. You don't need Jay Morrison. You don't need Flippin' in Jay to get some big building and do this. Why? I don't want to buy a big building. I'd rather buy 15 single two-family houses. 15 two-family houses, 3-family houses. That's what I want. I don't want a big building, get everybody together, syndicate deals and all. I don't want it. I don't want to be in charge of your money at all. And if you notice, all this guy was charging was money management fees. They raised $11.7 million and he charged fees to hold on to the money, to basically to manage the money. I just look at these guys and I don't want to call him a scam artist because he didn't scam them. I don't think he was informed enough himself of how the deal is going to go. Like a lot of time, these guys collect these money and they're taking big risk, big ballsy risk with your money. And all I'm saying is you don't need to invest with them. You don't need to invest with them. What's the point of investing with you when I can do it all myself? Now, the $2,000 and the $500 the guys are putting in investment, if you're investing in real estate and somebody tells you all you got to do is put in $2,000, $5,000 is the minimum to put in, there's something wrong. Bro, $500, what do you think that's going to do for you in a dividend? Like, come on. If $2,000 got this lady $75, what's $500 going to do? What's $500 going to do? And $2,000, that was enough. Obviously, it was just throwaway money for her because she was actually a seasoned investor. That's what I don't get. So maybe she was just doing this for shits and giggles to help the guy out. But $2,000 is not enough to buy a house. But the guy that invested the $40,000, those individuals, whatever race you are, more black people watch the channel. So those individuals in the black culture, if you got that much money, hold on. I haven't been around long enough to see the market crash and do all crazy things, but something tells me the market is going to change. These interest rates are going to go down and be more profitable for individuals that want to invest in 2-family, 3-families. I'm just waiting for it. At the time of recording this, interest rates are about 6 or 7%. Man, if they were to go down a little bit more, let's go down a little bit more, 4%. I mean, we're talking about moving at that point. But you have to be severely educated. And when I say severely educated enough to where you're willing to take risk with your own money. That's the thing. Will you take risk with your own money or you feel comfortable giving it to somebody else basically to risk your money? It is a risk when you give that money away. They're doing an SEC investigation on him, but they're not going to find anything wrong. Everything is probably going to look like it's on the up and up. Yeah, he may have been being shady, but I bet you everything that he did was legal. Everything he did was legal. But anytime you're going to invest in real estate with anybody and they let you think that a $500 is enough to get you in to invest with them or $2,000 is enough to get you to invest with them, that doesn't make any sense. That's not enough to invest. And what I'm trying to tell you is you probably can save the money yourself and do it yourself. My big thing on anything is the individual, building individual. You can do the real estate yourself. For all those who are young in their early 20s, invest in a 401k. Not as a retirement plan, but as a use, you can use that money for your down payment on your next multifamily property. And I'm talking about 2 units. All I do is preach 2 units, start off with a 2-unit joint and see how the cash flow comes. And then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You can just keep doing it over and over and over again, like I did. You buy it at 70%. You find out where you want to buy, and you keep doing it over and over and over again. And I know those people are going to say 70%, that's crazy, Ronald. Where are you going to find these deals? You're buying deals in the hood. You're right. But what you're missing out on is the hood for me is home field advantage. I'm from the hood. And let me tell you, 20 years ago, this was way tougher. This hood cannot compare to the toughness of the hood of 20 years ago. Not at all. Not at all. As far as the culture's soft. Everybody's soft. Me Too, all these movements. The hood ain't the same. So what I do is this. Take the next town over. As far as Essex County, like if you live in this New Jersey area, if you like the Unions, if you like the Maplewoods and things of that nature, those nice areas, the nicer areas, what I do is, in the area that I invest in, I find blocks that look like Union. I find blocks that look like Maplewood. I find blocks that look like South Orange in the hood, invest in those blocks and those properties at 70% off, keep the units excellent looking, make it look beautiful, and now I'm cash flowing. That's how I have to do it. I don't need Jay Morrison. I don't need Flippin' and Jay, and you don't need me. Just follow the information and get the education, and you can do it all yourself. And that's what I'm giving to people. Get the education. That shit is so important. It's the most sexiest thing you can do as a black man, as any man, is to educate yourself severely to where you're not giving your money to somebody else because they have more balls than you and less education. It's weird. My name is Ronald West. This is Ronald West TV. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe button to help grow the channel. We would really appreciate it. Peace.